Yup, we're getting into that territory here. Because today what I wanted to do was go over to a piece on The Athletic, diving into Max Bultman's mailbag from 4 days ago. This is going to be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and read it yourself. The Athletic, of course, is paid for material. Red Wings mailbag. Is there a silver lining to this season, plus draft and free agent targets? Now, obviously, you can read the title and the thumbnail. You kind of get the idea as to where this conversation is going to go, and whom it is that Steve Yzerman could potentially target heading into this upcoming off-season. Because The Athletic is paid for material, we're not going to go out there and screenshot the article directly. Instead, we're going to go out there and read Spectre's Hockey from earlier this morning, because Lyle Richardson does go out there and paraphrase what it is that Bultman writes about. So both articles will be linked in the description. This is what is written. In The Athletic, Max Bultman was recently asked what player in this summer's UFA market could help the Detroit Red Wings. He thinks Vladislav Gavrikov of the LA Kings would fit well along Mo Seider on their top line. GM Steve Yzerman could feel pressured to make one or two significant additions this summer if the Red Wings miss the playoffs again. Improving their defensive depth could be a priority, with Gavrikov among the targets if he is available. So that is a very simple write-up. It's very short, but if you go over to Gavrikov and the situation with him, Bultman essentially goes into a very deep dive in the article about Gavrikov and his overall defensive capabilities. He talks about how Gavrikov has some of the best 5v5 expected goals against numbers in the NHL, and how even though he is 30, he can still be a very capable and highly touted defenseman in the free agent market, and how Gavrikov's presence on the Detroit Red Wings could allow Ben Chiarot could be sent down to more manageable matchups. Now, expected goals against numbers in the NHL be damned. Let's go out there and talk about the regular numbers, the normie numbers, if you wanted to go out there and say that. But Vladislav Gavrikov is a 29-year-old defenseman, 6'3", 220 left-handed guy, signed on till the end of this season, making $5.875 million a year. This year, he's got 27 points in 74 games played, on pace for about 29 points, which is not a career high. He did have a 33-point season with Columbus 3 years ago. Gavrikov has been very good in prior seasons as a reliable, defensively capable guy. If anything, you could say the Detroit Red Wings need better defense, and with the emergence of Simon Edvinsson, he has been fantastic. As of late, Mo Seider has been looking pretty bad lately, too. A lot of people have been going out there and talking smack about him. We had spoken about this in yesterday's video, but man, some of the folks on Twitter are ruthless. Oh, we should get rid of this guy. His contract is not worth it. He's not that good. Stuff like that. It's been getting pretty ridiculous for Mo Seider and the discourse surrounding him. Although, with the idea of stabilizing the D-core, a guy like Vladislav Gavrikov and the defensive stability that he provides could serve as a very good addition to some sort of a Mo Seider pairing. And then, of course, the trickle-down effect of everybody else. If you had a D-core next season of Gavrikov Seider, then you have Ben Chiarot or even Simon Edvinsson. You could give Chiarot bottom pair minutes so he's a lot more fresh and he's not getting played to the wall, essentially. If you have Gavrikov Seider, Edvinsson ASP, then it doesn't really matter who you have on the third pairing. Ben Chiarot can be fine if you're not overplaying the dude, and if you have him alongside of a guy like, okay, Justin Holl, just to throw out a name there, or Albert Johansson, for example, that all of a sudden is more feasible, I'd say, as an NHL D-core, especially with the extended development time given to Edvinsson and Johansson, guys who have been pretty impressive this season, all things considered. I don't think anybody's going to look at their seasons as a disappointment. And so I wanted you to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. How do you feel about this idea of Vladislav Gavrikov heading over to the Detroit Red Wings? Do you think he is one of these guys that would improve the quality of the team? I know there is going to be some pushback because of the age and because of what Stevie Y has been doing lately. Hey, how do we know that Gavrikov is not going to be just Jeff Petrie, Ben Sherratt 2.0? How do we know he's not going to fizzle away like those guys? We had seen Steve Yzerman shell out a lot of money to older, more experienced players, and it's really started to bite the Red Wings in the behind. Say what you want about Andrew Kopp and his impact on the team, how his presence and absence has been very noted. I think a lot of folks are really starting to realize just how important Andrew Kopp is to the construction of the middle of the lineup in Detroit. But there's a lot of disapproval when it comes to these signings. Hey, why is there so many middle-aged dudes? Why are there guys that are supposed to be transitory players to help out this team become competitive and start to make the playoffs, but the team is not competitive and the team is not making the gosh darn playoffs? Is there room for another one? Is Gavrikov another one of these guys? I would like to say that I believe in Gavrikov more than I believe in a Petrie and or a Sherratt. I get it, the age is a little bit different since Gavrikov is just turning 30 in November, but I do believe in his profile more so than those other dudes. Even if you wanted to think about the age, oh yeah, when Ben Sherratt signed with Detroit initially, or when he was acquired, when Jeff Petrie was traded to Detroit or whatever, like, I get it, those guys were a little bit older, but they also did have some value in their early 30s, which is very exemplified by the fact that they went to the gosh darn Stanley Cup Finals with the Canadiens all those years ago. Gavrikov, I'd say, has that potential to be more of that type of a player. And if you want to see the Wings be competitive next year, you want to see them comfortably take a wildcard spot next year in 2026, then I do think Gavrikov helps in that respect. In the same way that guys like Sherratt and Petrie and Hall should have helped at this time. So ultimately, it does boil down to whether or not you think this is a player worth targeting. He will improve the team. He is better defensively than most NHL defensemen. He is one of the highest players in the entire league when it comes to expected goals against rates, and that is nothing to be scoffed at. It's written in the article. It's why Max Bultman is super interested in this guy. He's the 5th best 5v5 expected goals against defenseman. Defenseman or player? No, defenseman. Among defensemen who have played 500 minutes, that's what it is. So there's a lot to like out of the statistical profile of Gavrikov, but you also have to ask, like, oh, is he one of these top defensemen in expected 5v5 goals against numbers because he plays in a system like LA? Because they're a lot more of a defensively minded team, etc., etc. It's the system, not the player. Is that an argument that you think makes sense here? Do you think Gavrikov is just going to totally wipe out defensively if he goes to Detroit after leaving the LA Kings? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about that entire talking point? But for now, what are your thoughts? Gavrikov, yay or nay? Is he an appropriate Red Wings target? Do you think this is the right guy that Stevie Y should be targeting? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.